Our fourth and final speaker is ready in the wings to give us a right hook and an uppercut, to take us into that challenging time, to empower us. He's very passionate about digital economy, which is the economy we're in right now. Actually, if you are here right now and you never used to shop on Amazon, but because of the lockdown, you started shopping on Amazon, just type yes. Type yes, because I know how many Amazon boxes I had to throw away because my wife became Amazon obsessed. I said she needed to buy some shares in Amazon. Well, Ernest is an experienced and versatile business exec. He has verifiable year-on-year success, achieving revenue, profit, and business growth objectives within startups, turnaround, and rapid change environments. He has an extensive multifunction business background gained in an international context, an inspirational leader with strong communication skills, with the ability to clearly articulate vision, development, and motivate diverse teams to perform. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Get ready to be wowed, inspired, and elevated to a next level by Mr. Ernest Akinlola.
Good evening, Action Jackson and everybody. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yes, we can, sir.
Can you hear me? Okay,
yes.
Brilliant, fantastic. So, very nice. Thanks for the introduction. Let me just give a little bit of context to that. My role, in terms of my experience to date, I've worked primarily in the telecommunications industry, but also like Steve, I worked in pharmaceuticals, and like Shea Obaki, I'm a qualified accountant. I've worked extensively in the corporate field. I've risen to the CEO level of Nitel of Nigeria, and I've also set up startup businesses. I sit on boards of startups in Nigeria and the UK. Why am I saying this? I want to reference something to what Morenike said at the beginning, which is be yourself. Find out who you are, right? And actually, when you do and you allow yourself to be yourself, magic can happen. Just like Steve, I had to take my O-level maths twice. Although Steve had to do his A-levels twice, I did O-level maths twice. Who does that? But yet, I was the only one in my school that made it to a CEO level. If you can conceive it, you can achieve it. So that's just really one of the opening statements I want to give as we go into this point around how do you grow and build sustainable business in times of uncertainty. I always start with attitude. Attitude is the most important thing in a business. I think in Steve's presentation just now, he didn't say this word, but a lot of the positive people have got the right attitude. I always hire for attitude, never for skill. I mean, obviously, if you need to have a certain skill set, then yes, but you can always train somebody to be skilled, but you can't train them with the right attitude. And that also transcends into business. Now, let's look at the business economy right now. Small businesses account for 49% of employment in the US, 61% of employment in the UK, and 84% of employment in Nigeria, which is where I currently am on a project. So our ability to run these businesses sustainably is very, very important for the world economy, right? And also, it's a known fact that most businesses fail within their first year. Well, 20% of businesses fail within their first year, 45% of businesses fail within their second year. So how do we ensure that we don't fall into these gaps, into these traps? Now, just like Shea said, I'm going to give some pointers, 6 points actually, mine are, about what you should do to sustain your business, growing your business, starting a new business. But again, it doesn't refer just to during the time of a pandemic. These are mantras that every successful business should abide by. Now, some businesses during this COVID period have been excelling. Zoom, everybody knows about Zoom. Action Jackson, you said your wife wanted you to buy shares in Amazon. Well, check out the shares of Zoom or Tesla, gone up 500% this year. They have performed so well because the business plans were solid, but the pandemic has given them a shot in the arm to accelerate them. Some businesses have completely collapsed. The hospitality business, as we know, hotels are empty, airlines are struggling. British Airways got rid of 37 of its jumbo jets, never to be flown again, the queen of the sky. And, you know, so it's really harrowing, and everybody has stories that they can refer to. So but nobody could have predicted or planned for the seismic events that we've had to go through. And it's worldwide, trust me. So what do we do as business people? Many people have lost their jobs, some are going to lose their jobs. And the logical thing, depending upon where you are in your career, is to use that opportunity to maybe start a business. I mean, so many businesses, I don't know what the stats are, but so many businesses have been started this year alone, more than the last 5 years combined. And I think it's very important that we do things the right way. So nugget number one for me is, if you want to start a new business, we always talk about passion. That's a given. You need to have some inkling of desire and not necessarily know-how, because I've run a very successful business I didn't know anything about. But the key thing is investigate the market. Understand what the total addressable market is. Let me give you an example of what a mistake a lot of people make. I deal with a lot of international companies wanting to invest in Nigeria. Why? Oh, because it's got 200 million population, the biggest economy in Africa. Wow, you know, that's amazing. But when you then dig down beneath the membrane to check out exactly what is obtainable, it's a very different matter. Where there's a poor road network, there's a very high level of poverty. So share of wallet or whatever you want to propose to sell within Nigeria or service you want to make, you need to really do the maps and do the analysis to say this is the addressable market, but what can I really obtain? Also, lots of small businesses make the mistake of assuming that they have a unique proposition. Well, yes, you might have a unique way about doing something, but as Richard Branson says, there are no new ideas under the sun. There's nothing that hasn't been done before. What you have to do is identify how you would do it differently and profitably for your particular niche. So understand what the competition is doing. Make sure you know that you're getting into a market that you can actually compete in, and not try and go against a Goliath that has millions of dollars to spend on marketing. So I think understanding your market, very, very key. Then business plan. One of the most frequent requests I get is, help me develop a business plan. And I'm always happy when I hear that. And I usually get, I'm disappointed when I find that other companies have gone out on a whim to set up their business. It can be grueling, especially if you're not familiar with numbers, but it's always best to invest in somebody to help you pull that plan together. And you should always have a worst case business plan, a base case, and a upside case. And if the worst case makes money, given all the negative scenarios that you can think about, then you have a business. I have a friend, he's very, very clever. We call him 7 planets because he's got such a big brain. And whenever I want to do something, and I think is really fantastic, I take it to him because he always sees the negative in everything. If he struggles to say something negative, then I know I've got a fantastic idea. So not only should you don't believe everything that you think is right, put it down in numbers, see what the numbers say, test your assumptions, very, very important, and then you go into your business. Now, get into the specifics of the pandemic that we're in. And again, this also applies if there wasn't a pandemic. Digital economy. I'm ultra passionate about it. I've always been passionate about it because it enables you to be a global organization, right? It's not easier than running a land-based business because it's 24/7, but what is very, very important to embrace technology and the digital technology. I always tell people in Nigeria and around the world, basically, that 30-year-olds are they're our bosses, basically. They're the ones that are going to be running the economy. And if you want a successful business, you need to sell to them products and services that they would enjoy, right? I'm fortunate I have children, so I use them as my test bed in many scenarios, right? So understand the technology, understand digital marketing is very, very crucial for every single business. But even if you didn't use it for marketing, use technology for ensuring that you improve the operations of your business. So for instance, I sit on the board of a startup in Nigeria here, actually incorporated in America. They have a plugin that they use for their customer care system, absolutely free. They have a plugin for their CRM for contacting customers, absolutely free. There are so many there's so many digital APIs out there that you can plug into your business to make it much more efficient. We've all heard of zero accounting. Yes, that's something that helps you keep track of your finances, as we're going to get to that point in a minute. So embrace the digital economy, absolutely crucial. Fourth point, hold your strong opinions loosely. When I was the head of department at T-Mobile, it was one-to-one, and then it was bought by T-Mobile. The Germans used to tell us, hold your strong opinions loosely. And I used to think, what does that mean, right? But what it means is, when you have an idea that you think is absolutely right, you can become rather rigid about it, right? But actually be willing to change your mind if you're presented with the right evidence. Shay used the word pivot. You might think that this was rehearsed here, but I think being able to pivot is the basis of having holding your strong opinions loosely. Understand that your business dynamics might have to change. And even if things are going well, even if you've got good traction with your business, never ever be complacent. As a businessman, you should be paranoid. Always paranoid that somebody's going to come along and eat your lunch. And so what do? It doesn't mean that you shouldn't have a good work-life balance. What it means is that you should be continuously looking to innovate in any way you can to stay ahead of the competition and keeping the customer at the heart of what you are delivering. As we speak today, we all know that Amazon is one of the most successful companies in the world. But do you know that Amazon, they're not only satisfied with having a dominant position in books and in almost everything else, they're now doing Amazon Pharmaceuticals. They're pivoting their business model to take advantage of the fact that everybody's now buying drugs online, vitamins online. So the most successful companies are understanding how they will pivot. That means that who are we not to do that? We need to make sure that we're willing to understand the dynamics of our markets, change our opinions, and move ahead with the curve. Because you have to stay ahead and you have to stay afloat, because if not, somebody else is going to do it. Jumia have now become a logistics company. They've understood that, well, they have warehouses, they have delivery agents. Let's go into logistics. That's the boom. Not everybody's able to do it, but at least you can do something and have that mindset. It's the growth mindset again. Now, this one is ultra passionate and very, very important to me. I'm passionate about the customer. The fifth point is delight your customer. Always delight your customer. Even if you're having a bad day, even if you just received a report that was showing that you've got losses, your customers are very, very important to you. It costs you a lot to acquire them, and to acquire a new customer after you've lost one is almost impossible. So they become your advocates. They become your advocates of your business. Always look to deliver the best to your customer, no matter what. It goes to what Shay said about, if you're a leader, you also have to be a leader in front of your customers, not just to your staff. Show a happy face. Show that if you've cocked up, say, I'm sorry about this, we'll make good. Guess what? Customers will believe you, and they will they'll forgive you if you admit it. When I was CEO of Intel, we had many times when we had bad network, and the Nigerians are very, very vocal, and they'll tell you, oh, scam, scam, scam. I would go online and I'd go on LinkedIn, and they'd meet me and they'd talk to me and explain to them what we're doing to help resolve the situation. And even though it didn't solve their problem, the fact that somebody cared mattered a lot to them, and they stayed on our network. And that's the most important. You need to keep your customers close to you. Let me tell you something that Amazon do that is really amazing. A friend of mine, a school child friend of mine works at Amazon, and he said, Ernest, do you know that I get bonus? He's a key account manager, and his job is to go out and see his customers, right? And he said that, do you know that I get bonused if I go and see a customer and I'm able to reduce the amount they're spending on Amazon Web Services? This is, their CRM and their whole suite of technical services. I said, really? He said, yeah, we actually get bonus because if a customer meets a rep from the company and that rep is telling him, I can help you optimize what you're using from us and save you a bit more money, guess what the customer does? Buys more, buys additional services, and becomes a recommendation engine for your business. And we all know what Amazon share price is. So delight your customer always. It's fundamental. Finally, finance. Now, when you're running your business, you being aware of your financial position is very important. To me, as an accountant, I find it very strange, or as a trained accountant, I find it strange when I hear that people don't understand the difference between profits and revenue. I just think that how can't you? But actually, you'd be stunned at how many people don't. So what I say is this: if you're an entrepreneur, if you're setting up a business and you're passionate about what you're doing, understand or know what you don't know. I always take pride in knowing what I don't know, and then go and get a girl or a guy that does know what I don't know. So get somebody to run your books for you. Let them show you what you're doing. Let them understand your business. Are you spending enough on marketing? Are you paying yourself too much? Are you wasting money in areas that are not really driving your business forward? Keeping an eye on the ball on your financials is very, very important. Then when it comes to access to finance, in the UK right now, there are numerous schemes available by the government at very low rates. We've all heard about the bounce back scheme. Leverage this sensibly. Use your accountant to make sure that you're spending it wisely, because you have to pay it back. But again, the interest rates are really cheap. The UK is in a very strong, advantageous position compared to other countries, because you don't get those type of deals elsewhere. So if you're thinking about pivoting into a business from your career because you might have lost your job, again, like Steve said, use that as an opportunity. I mean, I've been made redundant twice, and he's absolutely right that all that's going to happen is that you're going to bank the money and you're going to get something else. Another thing, and this applies to career as well as your business, your net worth is in your network. Your net worth is in your network. I have never applied for a job or even sent out a flyer for business. Everybody comes, it's my track record of who I am just brings business to you. And the word I will use is integrity. Integrity. It's your royalty. It's like a royalty check. If you live a life of integrity and you are honest and you want the best for people and you share with your network, it's not always take, it's give and take. You'll find that when you pivot into business, it follows you there. Anything you do, it will follow you. The fact that I'm speaking on this I didn't know Morenica in September. The fact that I'm having this conversation is because I was recommended by somebody in my network. And that's how the world works. Put positivity out there. If you can conceive it, you can definitely achieve it. I've seen all manner of things in life. I've had disappointments. I've been fired. I've been promoted. I've achieved highs. And here's one thing: whenever there's a low, there's always a high around the corner. As one singer said, whenever it rains, the sun always has to come out. So always be positive. Each person is an individual superstar. Every single person is a superstar. You just have to allow yourself to find your superstar. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much for that, Ernest. That was amazing.